everybody, welcome to Bura. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the marketing tools that instructors have, which is the bonus lecture on Udemy, how some instructors can do whatever they want, and how this affects you as an investor. Alright, welcome back. First in this video, make sure you like, subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the more content we can make. The number one reason why you subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel is to get in the money-making trends before they go mainstream. Alright, so let's take a look at the Udemy stock. So, it is down right now. Now, of course, I don't think Udemy is a short. I continue to say that day after day after day. And, just because it's down 5%, I wouldn't worry about it. Again, if you already have a position in Udemy, I wouldn't necessarily sell it at a loss. What I would do is I would dollar cost average. Now remember, dollar cost averaging might be over the course of months or years, not weeks or days. So, you can always put in a little bit more here. So like if you really wanted a dollar cost average, you can always just add in like an extra $100 or something like that. But today we are talking about the bonus lecture and how instructors interact with their students. And I'm going to talk about specific instructors that can kind of just do whatever they want. Now, remember, I have nothing but respect for every instructor that I talk about here. If for some reason someone was a complete scammer, I would mention that before I talk about that particular individual. Again, that doesn't really happen on Udemy, thank goodness. But for the most part, again, every instructor that I do mention, I have respect for, and it's not really about them. It's more about the platform itself. And of course, as an investor, you need to understand the ramifications of everything that I'm talking about here. So, we have the stock price here, but let's take a look at the bonus lecture. So Udemy has a lot of rules, and you can see all these rules in the trust and safety here. And if you really want to read all these, you're more than welcome to. But the short answer is that Udemy spends a lot of time marketing to their students, and they don't allow instructors to kind of leech off that success. So things like, I can't send an announcement on Udemy saying, hey, can you sign up for my email list? And, that's not necessarily it's just the way it is, right? But, if you go into Kickstarter, you can do pretty much whatever you want. You can do that. And I'm going to be making a whole video about how a public benefit company can, in theory, really compete with Udemy in probably in a very serious way. And it's only a matter of time, because one of the things that you need to understand as an investor is that whenever I go to anything e-learning related, there's always one person that says, we are going to make something like Udemy, but better, right? Without fail, it's if I go to a conference, there's like 4 people that say that, right? And I hear it every single time. And basically, Udemy is the top dog and other people are trying to get to it. And even as I work with other companies, the products that they're building can be comparable to Udemy, and they can actually be quite competitive. So there's a lot to unpack there. And more specifically, as an investor, you need to watch out. Now, again, I don't think Udemy is a short, and it's definitely a buy. And just don't worry about the price action day over day over day. Now, I did mention that Upwork fell 70% before it started to go up. I don't think that's going to happen with Udemy, but with the stock market, no one really knows, okay? But let's get back to this bonus lecture. So what is a bonus lecture? A bonus lecture is the last lecture of the course posted after the rest of the course materials. This is a space that can be used to market your other courses, products, services to students. It's considered a marketing tool for instructors. Instructors typically use the bonus lecture for coupon codes, course referral links, external links to other products and service, and affiliate links to supplementary course materials, okay? So what they're saying here is that you can put at the end, and you can only do this right at the end of the course. It's like the bonus lecture is the lecture that you can say, sign up to my email list. You can go buy all the stuff that I produce. If you're an app developer, you can sell your app. You can sell pretty much whatever you want, right? Within, reason that it is a product that you can sell, right? Something that would fit with the overall the overall spirit of the company, right? So you can do that here. Now, here's the thing. So there are rules about this bonus lecture. I'm going to go through this here. So it's like, as the bonus lecture is a marketing tool, we have rules governing their use to ensure the impact on the learning experience and that it isn't obtrusive here, okay? So I'm going to go over this, and then Udemy actually has a really good point here, which I'm going to go over first, and then I'm going to go over how some instructors these rules don't apply. And I'm going to go over the ramifications of that too. So bonus lectures may not be presented in any other Udemy spaces such as direct messages in the course or landing page. So what it means is that instructors cannot say, by the way, I have all this free stuff in the bonus lecture. You can't do that, which is, or within the announcement. Again, I think that hampers sales. Okay, I'll get into that here. Only one bonus lecture is permitted per course, so you can't have like a bonus lecture at the end of every single section. To prevent confusion, no other lecture titles can be used the word bonus, okay? If you have other resources such as PDFs, they must be included within the bonus lecture. Bonus lectures may not be available as part of the free preview, okay? And that, I guess this makes sense here. It's been a while since I've looked at this, but you know, it's mostly the same. The title of the bonus lecture must include the word bonus, for example, bonus lecture, bonus section, bonus lesson, etc. The materials contained in your bonus may not be mentioned in the lecture title description of the course landing page. So basically, unless, like, I don't even know if Udemy students know this here, but the bonus lecture has a ton of marketing potential. And so what does this mean? Well, basically what it's saying is that you can't use any other marketing tools to market your Udemy course. And I understand why they do this, because, you know, for every person that, let's say, has a good bonus thing, like, you know, if I had, let's say, an app that helped you kind of learn to code or whatever, and like an app that like kept you on your goals, like a scheduler or something, you know, I would say, by the way, if you buy this course, you get a free subscription for 3 months to my app, right? Now, this is something that would be like a no-brainer. And I bet you the instructor, would make more money. And this is the thing that really irks me about Udemy is, like, you know, I can make an auxiliary product to my existing base, like a software as a service, and I could say, hey, look, by the way, you get this free software as a service if you sign up to this course today. It's in the bonus lecture. You can't do that, right? You cannot do that, right? That's a problem, because I think I would make more money, not only with the software as a service, with the subscription model, which I'm not allowed to do on Udemy, by the way, and I'm going to get to that later, and in a different video, actually, just because, you know, the whole subscription thing, the personal subscription is something Udemy shouldn't do, and I say it again and again and again and again. Please don't do that, and if it does, as an investor, you should watch out, because other people will eat Udemy's lunch. But anyway, so I can't make a software as a service and attach it to my course, right? Even if it's in the best of intentions. The reason for this, and again, with Udemy, there's a person like me that's literally trying to help students, and then there's another person just trying to scam something else here. Now, all they have to do is just clarify the rules and maybe even have a review process for the bonus materials, okay? So I bet you I would make more money if this lecture was changed here. Now, you can only put this at the end and you cannot mention it anywhere. And again, I think that's probably a bad thing. And if I could put it at the beginning of the course, I think, you know, it would be good. People like getting free stuff. I can tell you, after selling courses everywhere and selling courses with auxiliary products, you know, when you have something like that, you make more money, right? You can make more money. And as we know, the marketplace does make more than the subscription business on Udemy. And the marketplace is the defining factor. It's the differentiating product that Udemy has against all these other platforms. People like buying a la carte, and I bet you people like getting free stuff as well, even if it's like a 3-month or 6-month trial. And furthermore, if, let's say, I was allowed to do that, like a little, just a scheduler to help people learn to code every day, well, I think that would be good. There's nothing here, there's nothing wrong about creating this app, right? Because this is the whole point of business. You create a service or a software as a service to help people. Like, that's like economics 101. It's small business 101. And, That's what it's to be. And the thing about Udemy that kind of annoys me is like the lack of basic business, small business acumen. And I get it, they're a big company. They've got like millions of dollars of funding. They don't really kind of exist in the space of small business. But if I were allowed to, let's say if I made that schedule, which wouldn't be too difficult to do, by the way, and I charged, let's say, I don't know, $99 a year, let's say. So it was all it was is like you sign up and it gives you just a few things to do every day. And if you can do these things every day, it will help you learn to code, right? It's just a scheduler. Like my own software as a service, and you, let's say, get a 3-month trial, right? And after that 3 months, it costs either $99 a year or $5 a month or something like that. Now, I bet you that I would make money off of that because people would probably want to buy it, right? And I can use that to make better courses, etc., right? But I can't do any of that, and the reason is that Udemy is very protective about its students and its clients, right? And rightly so, because they spend quite a bit of money there. However, if they were to allow this, just exactly what I'm saying, I bet you that the instructors would make more money and would produce better products. And competition would be higher. And furthermore, I think that Udemy, and specifically the Udemy stock, would go up, okay? That's what I think would happen if they were to relax these rules. Now, again, Udemy is not in the wrong for putting this strict rules here. I get it that they spend a ton of money on marketing, but for every person like me, there's probably like 2 or 3 other people that are just trying to kind of scam the community, right? And I don't see these personally, but after talking to people that work at Udemy, like they tell me stories about how people just try to scam. It happened a lot in the early days when you could see every instructor and whatnot. But, Udemy's not in the wrong for this, for putting things this strict. I just think that they should relax the rules a bit because I think that it would be good. Now, I bet you people would probably give higher ratings if they got free stuff early on, okay? That brings me to the next thing here. Now, I'm going to go over a specific case here. Now, again, Rob Percival is one of the top selling Udemy instructors. I have nothing but respect for him. And this isn't about Rob. This is just about what he is allowed to do on the Udemy platform. Udemy allows it, and somehow I'm not allowed to do it, okay? So let's take a look at these here. This is the Web 2.0 course here. And look at this. We have how to get all the free stuff, okay? Now, I cannot do this on Udemy, but Rob can. And I can tell you that this used to cause a ton of people to just completely go, bonkers over this, right? How come he gets to give away free stuff like the bonus lecture, which can only be at the end, by the way, and he can give it in the second lecture? And so what is he selling here? Now, again, if I kind of open this up here, now I don't think, I think, if things pick up with the mic, it won't sound very good. But nevertheless, he's basically selling his hosting here, right? And that's totally fine. He also asked for a review earlier on, right? So like in the early days of Udemy, he would ask for a review, and you can only like get this stuff with a review. But nevertheless, he is selling his services in the second thing. Now, I think Udemy should just allow everyone to get that, to do this here. Now, I don't think it's necessarily bad, but here's the thing, like he can do this here, right? I don't know why. Udemy never tells anybody about that. So at the next shareholder meeting, if you're a Udemy investor, please bring this up, because the fact that he gets to do this completely discourages, well, a ton of instructors. And as I mentioned, the number one risk, and even Udemy knows this as well, the number one risk to the platform is competition. And competition, it means that like if I'm really good at web development courses, why would I go on Udemy? I would just go to Thinkific or Teachable. Or if I'm really good at web development, I could go work for Duolingo or the competition, right? What's the point of doing all this if some other people, some instructors are, well, more equal than others, right? That's really what this comes down to, right? He gets to do this and I don't here. Now, I don't think this guy has a bonus section, but where do we go from here? Yeah, so there isn't that here, okay? But if I go to some other courses here, they will have a bonus section. And again, this has nothing to do with Rob himself. Again, he's a great instructor, but it's just the fact that he gets to do this, right? And I don't, leaves a bunch of questions. And this is the kind of thing that has happened, for over the last 10 years in Udemy. It's like some people, like he was one of the first people, I think he came in like 2012 or something. So like basically a year after me. And, he was allowed to do this from the start. I was never allowed to do this. But nevertheless, I think that if Udemy relaxes some of its rules, you will start to see more profits go in, right? Because Udemy is a very simple but effective business. You get people who want to learn online to go to a spot, okay? And then you get all that traffic, etc. Udemy is, to be fair, it does a really good job going this way so far. However, I think that they could go the extra step and then make stuff like this and relax the rules on the instructors and allow people to build scalable businesses. Now, if you haven't checked out that video on Kickstarter, the comparison between Kickstarter and Udemy, I highly recommend that you go check that out. And the reason why I highly recommend that you go check that out is because it talks about a lot of the things that Udemy could do to become a better company and to obviously make more money, right? Again, I know that the App Store has a bunch of rules and Android has rules as well. And I do know that if you don't have enough rules, there's going to be a lot of negative, like there's going to be a bunch of scammers. So, the thing is that again, Udemy does, they've laid a great groundwork here, but it just needs to be like relaxed a bit while keeping the quality standards that they do, right? And I think that would really help because I guarantee you that people will like getting free stuff in the second lecture. I guarantee you, because why wouldn't you, right? If I was getting, if I was doing this on my subscription site, building a software as a service here, and I said, oh, by the way, if you enroll today, I'll give you like this software as a service site, 3 months, 6 months for free or whatever. And I guarantee you that would drive sales for me, right? And that's what people do. They go on to Teachable and Thinkific and they sell their own course. They build a list off of YouTube and then they sell their course. And maybe they throw up some of the like junk courses here on Udemy. Like they're obsolete ones. They might use a different name, which that's why they have so many instructors and courses is because, they like a lot of people just like throw up these poor quality courses onto Udemy and, like if they get like $500 or $1,000 a month, hey, that's great, right? And that's not necessarily a bad way to do it because there's no upside here. Now, and again, so even if I go into web development, I don't even think this is one of the top web development courses anymore. And I'm not saying that. Okay, yes, it is. It's in the top here, right? So as you can see, this is. I think that they should relax the rules personally, while keeping quality standards. Meaning that like if you do sell any other products, they have to be approved, right? Your product has to be approved before you go and add the bonus lecture. And it's not difficult. Like if you have all the free stuff here, there is a review process with Udemy, which is really good, right? And so. And the other thing is, I should do this here, read this here. So when an instructor is clearly going against the spirit of Udemy policies in an attempt to game the system, or if a severe negative impact on the student experience, high unsubscribe rates and refund rates, it will be considered a violation of our policies. Okay, and so like you can see here that like again they have this wording here that says if it goes against if it goes against whatever they're trying to do, that's obviously not good. And they actually put this in here, high unsubscribe rates and refund rates. So they obviously don't want people to do that here. But you know what? I bet you that if I gave away some free stuff and if I could do exactly what Rob is doing here, I would make more money, right? And it would allow me to not only, one, build better courses, but I could build services to help students become more successful here. I could build software as a service apps that could help them. And, they could, again, because people get into e-learning for two reasons. One, they do like helping people. Like at the very base of entrepreneurship is you provide a service that helps someone and they pay you money for that service. Like that's like the basics of entrepreneurship. And, a lot of the people, and specifically the top instructors, are like that, right? One, they like helping people, and two, they like getting paid to help people, right? Which is why I said in another video that when you get teachers, like a lot of the teachers, like you're supposed to sacrifice your income and your life for the students. And I don't think that's a good idea, right? I think that you should get compensated for that. And again, if instructors aren't compensated, they won't go on Udemy at all, or worse yet, they might not even make a course and they, take their technical expertise to the competition. And that's a huge problem. Very big problem, right? And I can tell you that finding course creators is very difficult. Now, we do a special thing at Mammoth, of course, but that's just what we're doing here, okay? So, all right, so look at that. The stock price is down a little bit more. Again, don't worry about the day-to-days. If we look at the 5-day, and if you bought at the bottom, you're still up 1% here. But don't worry about it. Remember that the lockup period is probably the biggest conviction. I wouldn't be surprised if, the stock goes up behind then. But, day-to-day, like the thing about the stock market now is like if the stock market's having a bad day, I mean, Udemy's not going to have a good day. It's just not, because the rest of the stock market is going down. Like I can tell you, because I obviously invest in the stock market too. It's like if the stock market is down, well then guess what? Doesn't matter which company, even if it's Apple, right? It's going to go down too, right? So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on the bonus lecture here. And the big thing that you need to understand about the bonus lecture is that some instructors, and I think this is the only one to my knowledge, but he gets to do this. I don't know why he gets to do this. I've never heard an answer from Udemy on this. So at the shareholder meeting, you should ask this because, it's a big problem. It really does limit the amount of people and the people on the platform to go to the platform, because this is too strict in my opinion. And if they just, they have a good foundation for what they're doing here to make sure that students learn the most, because that's really important, right? I argue that sales is a little bit more important than student interaction on Udemy specifically, but it is important, because if people aren't learning, they're not going to come back, right? So it is important. And they have a great foundation, but they're just a bit too strict. If they relax things a little bit, I think that you'll start to see a lot more innovation in courses. Students will be happier, and instructors will make more money. And you, as the investor, will get to reap all the benefits of all of these, right? So that's my opinion on that, okay? So if you're an investor and want a consultation, I have my contact information down below. If you really like this channel, you can subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. We release 60 hours of fresh new content per month, every single month. And if we get to 10,000 paid subscribers, we can release 200 to 300 hours of fresh new content per month, every single month. We're really awesome at that, right? We don't do Patreon. Again, we sell our digital products down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.